Hey guys, Andy from Backbone Adventures in Estes Park, Colorado. I own an ATV and Jeep rental company. So, last year I had this idea to put together a little video just about empowering women because I have so many amazing women that work for my company in a male dominated industry. In fact, the top leadership position is held by an amazing woman. She's the general manager. My best mechanic is a 19-year-old girl. She just kicks ass. Some of the trail crew people I've had in the past, some of these girls just, getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, chaining up a big diesel truck, pulling a 36-foot trailer with 18,000 pounds of equipment on it, up a skinny, windy mountain road that's snow packed, and then spending a 15-hour day on the trail in the elements, working, doing some mechanic stuff, changing tires, tipping machines back over, and excelling more than some of the men. Um, it's just been awe-inspiring for me. And I think we've built a really good culture with the help of some of these females. We've built a really good culture at our company of just, a very accepting environment, fun, fair, and just a great culture where bad things don't happen. But, and before I get too deep into that, I'm not going to go too deep in it because this is just kind of a promo for what I'm going to be making. Before you get too judgmental about me using the term empowering women, depending on what side of that, what your political views are, I'm not going to get political. I'm not on the left, I'm not on the right. I consider myself an independent. We're not going to get into politics in this. I've always been an empathetic person, compassionate towards other human beings. Before you get too judgmental about it, let me just tell you who I am real quick. I was raised up here on Storm Mountain. It's where I still live today with my wife and daughter. I grew up hunting, fishing, riding my dirt bike, which is obviously still my passion. Riding horses. My first job was chopping wood. I just chopped wood the other day. I'm 53 years old. I like working hard. I like living and working in the mountains. I'm a country boy, I guess. I'm a gun owner. I'm not a liberal. I'm not a conservative. I just have empathy for other human beings. And I want a good work culture in my business. And that culture was led by a woman. She's the one that brought it to my attention. And after witnessing what it brought to the company, I felt that might be also an important element. But this video isn't going to be that I'm going to put out. It isn't about me. I'm not going to be in it. This is about highlighting the amazing women that work for my company and some of the just awesome stuff that they do. But in doing that, I needed to come up with some questions to ask to kind of get that ball rolling. And so once I sat down and started asking a few questions, an answer to a question, the response would lead me to ask another question about that subject that was brought up. And then the response to that led to another question. And before long, we're kind of down this rabbit hole where we're talking about some things that maybe I just wasn't aware of. Not so much in my workplace. Not that it can happen there, but just things that all the women that I interviewed, and I'm still gathering content, all have similar experiences. Mental and physical abuse, overpowering men, and some of the misogynistic comments and just bullshit. I mean, if you're a woman and you're hearing me say that, you're like, duh, yeah. But if you're a man, maybe you don't know the extent of it. I'm not sure that I was aware. I mean, I was aware. I'm aware. We're all fairly aware, especially in this day and age. But I don't have my head in the sand. But maybe I wasn't aware the quite the extent of it. And I think if you're a male, you might want to tune in and watch this piece, and there might be something to learn there. And as well, if you're a company, there might be something to learn from our company on how we do things. It might make a better work culture for you. And that's important. That's huge. Mental health is important. And the way people are treated at work is extremely important. The way coworkers treat each other, and it's up to the owner of the business, the leadership of the business to set those expectations and hold people accountable. So there might be something for you to learn there. And if you're a female, you'll definitely find some things you can relate to, which I'm sure you have all over the place. To you guys, it's just a common thing. It's a thing that happens almost daily, probably. I just wasn't aware it was so, as there was that much of it. There's also little things. These girls aren't going to get into some of the heavy duty stuff. That's just too private. But there's little things as well, and very small things. Just little comments that for a man, it's not a big deal. I'll give you an example. I was 21 years old. I worked at a job, and my boss, she's like 30. I wasn't attracted to her or anything like that. I had a little hole in my pants. She walked by. It was right on my ass cheek, and she walked by and sticks her finger like that. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. And I just went about my day. No big deal. But I'm a guy. With thousands of years of guys being the dominant gender, it's not that big of a deal to us. In fact, most guys would find it flattering, I guess. But for a woman who's dealt with things like this their whole life, and women have dealt with these things for thousands of years, so it is impactful to them. And we need to be conscious of that. We need to be better. And everybody talks about it. It's not going to get any better because some men are just pigs, period. And they're incapable of change. But I think what you might be able to learn from it if you're a guy is some of the little things that you do, the unconscious things that you say that might have an impact on your female friends or coworkers. So there's something there. I didn't expect it to turn into this. I thought it'd be just like highlighting some really badass female employees that I have that just inspire the hell out of me. But I learned some things I didn't expect. And so this thing's going to turn into, it's going to have some other elements to it that you might find really interesting. So stay tuned. Right now, it's going to take some time to get all that content together and do some editing. And right now, we just signed a deal with Can-Am, so we're going through a lot of training. So it's a little difficult, and obviously coming into Thanksgiving and Christmas. So we'll see how it shakes out when we can get it out. But I'm not one of those. I'm not one of those guys who'd be like, hey, subscribe now and be on the lookout. Do or don't, it doesn't matter to me. Just check back on the channel and see when it pops up, and I think it might be interesting. So hopefully we'll see you soon on that. Have a good night.